Saima was born in a small house in a crowded neighborhood. The house was modest, with mud floors and tiny rooms, but it was always filled with the warmth of love. Saima's father, Abdul Rahman, ran a small shop where he sold daily necessities. From morning till evening, he sat at his shop, joking with customers and ensuring there was enough to provide 2 meals a day for his family. Their life was simple, but Abdul Rahman harbored big dreams for his children. Saima's mother, Parveen, was a homemaker who devoted her life to raising her 3 children. Saima, her elder brother Salim, and younger brother Amir. Saima, the eldest daughter, began helping with household chores at the age of 5. Early in the morning, she would join her mother in the kitchen, assisting with rolling out rotis and washing her younger brother's clothes. Parveen often said, "Saima, you are our gem. This house runs because of you." Saima would smile, lower her head, and continue her work. But deep in her heart, she nurtured a small dream. She wanted to become a doctor. At school, she always topped her class, and her teachers praised her intelligence. The dreams hidden in her books transported her to a world where she wore a white coat and saved lives. Seeing Saima's intelligence and hard work, her teachers encouraged her. Her English teacher, Mrs. Nazreen, once told her, "Saima, you have great potential. If you keep working hard, you'll become a great doctor one day." These words sparked a small flame of hope in Saima's heart. At night, she would sit with her books, studying by the light of a small candle, dreaming of her future. But as she grew older, her family's financial struggles began to weigh heavily on her dreams. Abdul Rahman's shop didn't generate enough income to afford higher education for Saima. When she reached the 10th grade, her parents told her it was time to think about marriage. Saima pleaded to continue her studies, but her father said, "My dear, our circumstances don't allow it. A good marriage will secure your future." At 16, Saima's marriage was arranged with Arif, the son of a distant relative of her father. She had only seen him once when he visited their home with his father. Arif was a lanky, shy boy who spoke little. His silence felt strange to Saima, but she thought things might improve after marriage. Her mother reassured her, saying, "Men are shy at first, but everything settles with time." On her wedding day, Saima's heart raced. She looked beautiful in her red bridal dress, but a strange fear gripped her. It felt as though she was leaving her entire life behind. Her dreams, her aspirations, everything seemed to fade in that moment. As she left for her new home, her mother hugged her and said, "My dear, take care of yourself. This new house is yours now. Make it your own." Saima nodded, tears streaming down her face as she embraced her mother. She didn't know what lay ahead, but a small hope lingered in her heart that this new journey might lead to the fulfillment of her dreams. Saima's new home was a large house where Arif lived with his parents, 2 sisters, Shazia and Natsia, and a younger brother. The house was always bustling, but from the first day, Saima felt an odd unease. Arif's mother, Razia Begum, was a stern woman who kept a close watch on every household task. She liked things done her way. Arif's sisters, much like their mother, were quick to criticize. Saima tried her best to win everyone's hearts. She woke up early, managed all the household chores, and took care of everything from cooking to cleaning. She believed that her hard work would earn her acceptance. The first few months went smoothly. Arif treated her kindly, coming home in the evenings to chat lightly with her, and occasionally bringing her small gifts. Saima began to hope that her life might finally take a turn for the better. But soon things changed. Razia Begum began criticizing Saima's every move. If Saima cooked, Razia would complain, "There's not enough salt in this dal. Don't you know how to cook?" If Saima cleaned the house, Shazia would point out, "Bobhi, you missed that corner." Saima endured it all silently, believing that patience would eventually make things right. Arif's silence became her greatest sorrow. Whenever Razia or Shazia criticized her, he remained quiet. One day, Saima asked him, "Arif, why don't you ever stand up for me? I work day and night for this house, but your family is never satisfied." Arif replied coldly, "Saima, you're too sensitive. My mother and sisters are just joking. Why do you take it to heart?" His words cut through her like a knife. She felt like a stranger in the house. As time passed, things grew worse. One day, when Saima prepared a meal for guests at Razia's request, Shazia announced in front of everyone, "Bobby, this food is tasteless. You don't even know how to cook properly." Saima lowered her head, but a storm raged within her. That night, the situation escalated when Razia accused Saima of stealing money from the household. Saima, in tears, protested, "Ami, I've never done such a thing. How can you accuse me like this?" But Razia refused to listen. Arif, as always, remained silent. That night, a heated argument broke out between Saima and Arif, and in a fit of anger, Arif divorced her. Saima's world collapsed in that moment. She returned to her parents' home, heartbroken and terrified of the future. She was only 18. The neighborhood began gossiping about her. Some said, "There must be something wrong with her, or why would her marriage fail?" Others remarked, "Who will marry her now?" Saima listened to these taunts in silence, but her heart wept. Before Saima's parents could recover from the shock, they arranged her second marriage, believing it was the only way to rebuild her life. This time, the match was with Faisal, a government clerk with a serious demeanor. Saima hoped this marriage might bring her happiness. After the wedding, Saima moved into a small house with Faisal. At first, Faisal seemed kind. He spoke to her, lovingly, and Saima felt that her life might finally take a positive turn. Faisal would come home in the evenings, eat the meals Saima prepared, and discuss small household matters with her. Saima lit a new flame of hope in her heart. But a few months later, she discovered Faisal's gambling addiction. He squandered most of his salary on gambling, leaving little for household expenses. His temperament grew increasingly irritable. One day, Saima found betting slips in his pocket and confronted him. "What are these?" "Where are you spending your salary?" Faisal snapped. "It's none of your business. It's my money and I'll do what I want with it." Saima tried many times to convince Faisal to quit gambling, explaining how it was ruining their lives, but he refused to listen. One night, after losing a large sum in a bet, Faisal hit Saima. That night, she told him, "If you don't change, I can't stay in this marriage." In a rage, Faisal told her to leave. Saima packed her belongings and returned to her parents' home. Her second marriage ended within 2 years. Saima was now 20 years old. After 2 failed marriages, her confidence had waned. But her parents didn't lose hope and found another match for her, this time with Kamran, a widower with a young daughter from his first marriage. Saima thought this marriage might be different, as Kamran seemed mature and responsible. Kamran was indeed a good man. He treated Saima with love and respect, but his daughter, Maham, still grieving her mother's death, refused to accept Saima. She saw Saima as an intruder trying to take her mother's place and harbored resentment toward her. Saima tried hard to win Maham's heart, bringing her toys, telling her stories, and spending time with her. But Maham pushed her away, saying, "You're not my mother." Kamran, caught between his daughter and Saima, couldn't fully support her. One day he said, "Saima, I love you, but Maham is my life. If she's not happy, I can't continue this marriage." Saima nodded silently, packed her belongings, and returned to her parents' home once again. At 23, Saima's fourth marriage was to Shahzad, a businessman. Shahzad was deceitful, marrying Saima only to secure financial help from her father for his business. A few months after the wedding, Shahzad asked Saima's father for a large loan. When her father refused, Shahzad began abusing Saima. Unable to endure his cruelty, Saima left him. Saima was now 27. Her fifth marriage was to Nasir, a kind and educated teacher. Saima felt this might be the turning point she had been waiting for, but fate had other plans. Nasir fell ill with a disease that worsened despite treatment. Within 2 years, he passed away, leaving Saima alone once again. After 5 failed marriages, Saima decided to live life on her own terms. She started a small tailoring business, and through her hard work and determination, she made a name for herself. She became an inspiration for the women in her neighborhood. Saima's story is a lesson for anyone who loses hope in difficult times. She proved that no matter how tough life gets, courage and hard work can make anything possible.